Hello, everyone, and welcome back. We are here with Virtual College Week Part 2. So we're excited to be back. We have a fully packed schedule happening this week. And today we're happy to announce that we have our private partner college, Canisius, here with us. And they're going to give us a virtual college tour, talk about how the Say Yes Scholarship works, and they will be answering any questions you have. So in the meantime, while they are giving their presentation, please put your questions or comments in our chat box and we will get them answered. Now I'm going to turn it over and welcome Canisius. We have Kayla and Rachel with us today. So welcome, ladies, and thank you for participating in our virtual college tour week.
Awesome. Thanks so much. So I'm just going to go ahead and share my screen really quickly with everybody so you guys can all see that. Awesome. Okay, so again, my name is Kayla Majori. I am one of the admissions counselors here at Canisius, and I'm going to be taking you guys on our virtual tour. So this is a platform that all students are welcome to take a peek at right on our Canisius website. You can just go to canisius.edu/visit and check this out. A little bit about myself. I was a student on campus, so I did my undergrad and my grad work at Canisius, and I was a tour guide for 4 years. So if you have student perspective questions as well as now an administrative perspective question, I'm happy to answer those. So without further ado, we're just going to hop right on in. This is where students typically will enter campus. This is Lyons Hall, the building that we are looking at straight ahead. This is where undergrad admissions is housed, which is why many of you will start here for your first visit. As we're walking into Lyons, to the right are the village townhouses. You can kind of see those right there. The village townhouses are an option for upperclassmen if you are looking to live on campus. Those are for sophomores, juniors, or seniors and are apartment style. Heading into Lyons Hall, again, this is where undergrad and grad admissions is housed, but it also is home to a few different programs. Our political science program, pre-law path, communications, digital media arts, things like that are all going to be housed in this building. As we're going through our campus tour, I'm going to have the opportunity to show you a few piano pictures and just individual pictures. So this is my office where Rachel and I are. You can just take a quick look around. We're located right on the first floor of this building. Very easy for you to find when you're coming to campus. So right through these glass doors, to the left is the main door entrance, and across the hall from us is the Mayday Theater. If you are interested in theater productions, we do typically put on 4 a year with one of our clubs called Little Theater. So just a nice shot of the office there. Another panorama for you guys to see upstairs is our broadcasting studio. Griffin TV and different classes utilize this space. It's really cool because it's state-of-the-art technology that you're going to get the opportunity to have hands-on experience shooting, filming, or maybe you want to be an on-screen anchor or something like that. Pretty cool, huh? So as we click through a couple just quick shots of Lyons Hall, it is a really pretty building. This is a shot of the Mayday Theater on campus. And a fun photo on our back lawn. One of our favorite events is Griff Fest. It's an end of the year celebration on the last day of classes, kind of like one big carnival. As you can see, we have some different rides and things like that that we bring, games, free food, so many giveaways for the students, and they just really love that. So I kind of like those pics that takes place on the back of our lawn. I have a perfect view from my office too to see all the fun. As we're heading across the street here, we're now going to be passing the Montante Cultural Center. This is our auditorium type space on campus. It holds about 540 people. It used to be our chapel on campus, but was renovated a few years back to now be kind of an auditorium space. Some cool events that take place there. We actually had Josh Peck from the show Drake and Josh, if anybody remembers that. He was on campus just a couple months ago to do like a big talk with our students. So some really cool things that we house in there. So we are now heading across Main Street. Many of you may be familiar with where our campus is located, and we are right in the heart of the city of Buffalo. We're passing one of our NFTA Metro bus stops on campus. And as we get further down Main Street, you're going to have the opportunity to see another subway stop. So lots of access to public transportation as we're walking through campus. And we're just going to keep making our way down Main Street, making a left here onto Jefferson Avenue. I'll show you guys a map in a little bit, just so you kind of get an idea of where we're walking today. And we're going to head right into our Science Hall building. Science Hall used to be a Sears department store and was renovated in 2005 when we acquired this building to be one of our newest academic buildings on campus. So we're going to head right on in here. What's great is we have a Science Hall cafe. So if you are going to be on like the pre-med track or one of our science, math, physics, computer science programs that are housed in this building, you can grab lunch or a snack before class. They also have Starbucks coffee, sandwiches, wraps, things like that. Behind the wall where these gentlemen are sitting is our mail room. So all students are welcome to utilize that if you'd like to send out mail or receive mail or package. If you are residing on campus, you will have an individual mailbox that you can pick up your mail from. As we kind of head down here to the right, you're going to see some computers. This is super great to point out that students have access to computers and printers pretty much through every single academic building. Our live living plant wall is on the left here that some of our bio students help to take care of. And to the right, this is our Golden Griffin broadcasting studio. I'm going to show you some more photos of that in just a minute. So I'm going to keep going straight until we get to the end of the hallway, and then I'll show you some cool pictures. And then that leaves us here in the Science Hall Commons area. Science Hall Commons is a great kind of like hangout space. We may have an event, which is why you can see it's set up presentation style, or the furniture is all movable and it might just be students hanging out, doing some work and some studying, things like that. All right, let's take a peek here. So I'm going to show you some quick photos. So this is this is just a panorama of the Science Hall Commons space. Through these glass windows here, you can actually see kind of a little bit. It's a little difficult to see, but there's sort of that blue structure. That is our parking garage on campus. So all students are welcome to have a car on campus if you choose to do so. And you can access the parking garage through the Science Hall building, trying to make it as easy as possible not to have to go outside. And then if you were to head out these glass doors, that's going to leave you out on Main Street. Okay, so I just have to move my photo in order to show you the next photo. So this is our ESPN3 again broadcasting studio. So students interested in getting into like sports journalism, or maybe you're a sports management major and want to work with coaches, kind of game day interviews, anything like that. This is such an awesome experience. It's a partnership with ESPN. So you are actually like working for the company. You can add that to your resume. They partner with our staff at Canisius. So you may be doing, like I said, game day interviews or more of the behind the scenes tech work if you're interested into digital media arts or anything along those lines. And just a couple more photos of the Science Hall building for you guys to see here. Science Hall hallway, which does lead to the basement where there's more classrooms, general study rooms, things like that. This is a better shot of the commons when it's set up for just individual student use. A computer lab for you guys to see, and then just a couple more ESPN action shots. Those are always really fun. Okay. Awesome. I think we might have missed one panorama I want you guys to see. Sorry about that. This is a Science Hall classroom. You guys are going to be going to class in this building. I think that's really important to highlight. You can see that this classroom is pretty small. That's because our average class size is just about 17 students per class. So you're not going to be sitting in any large lecture hall. You could have group work, which as you can see here, Those tables are set up for more individual group work, or maybe like a large kind of classroom discussion, why this classroom set up in a circle. And then all of our classrooms are set up with state-of-the-art technology as well. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and head down Main Street as we exit the Science Hall building. And it does look like we have a quick question. So I will be answering questions throughout. If anybody has one, feel free to let me know. We recognize that Canisius is right off of Main Street. What other amenities are close by the campus? So like I said, we have the public transportation. As we head down Main Street here, we're going to actually highlight just a couple more of those amenities. So we have an M&T, oops, I guess I have to start back here. Right in front of us here, there's an M&T bank branch on campus. I know most of you will all be local, but some students really like having a bank branch accessible that they could walk to on campus, especially students from further away who may need to be opening a bank account. We also offer an M&T ATM in the basement of our student center. So if you would like to take out cash and not having to have like a fee or anything like that, it's sometimes students really appreciate having that M&T right on campus. And as we are heading down Main Street, you can see we have a little strip mall right here that has like a restaurant in it, a hair salon, some different things that students like to take advantage of. And then another one of our NFTA metro stops. So we are really close to a lot of things, being in the heart of the city of Buffalo. Whether you decide to hop on the metro and head downtown in about like 8 to 10 minutes, you could be at different restaurants, sporting events, activities in the city, or even one of our home hockey games, which is downtown across from where the Buffalo Sabres play at the Harbor Center facility. So that's something students really love. We're going to get to see some pics of that in just a second. Or you may want to take one of our shuttles. Our shuttle takes students on the weekends to the Galleria Mall, which isn't too far away, to Target, to Wegmans, places like that that most students want to be able to get to. So we, like I said, great access. All right, so let's go ahead and keep heading down Main Street. And we are going to go into our Kessler Athletic Center. This is often referred to as the CAC on campus, KAC for short. And we are going to go right into these main doors here. So in our Kessler Athletic Center, downstairs to the right, there are going to be various classrooms for students if you are going to potentially be taking like physical education courses, some of our sports and exercise healthcare classes, kinesiology, things like that, health and wellness programs are all housed here in the Kessler Athletic Center. So many students will still have class over here. As we head up onto the main floor of the athletic center, to the left through this little opening are just general locker rooms for students. Upstairs are going to be different weight rooms. And then to the right behind this wall is going to be our main gymnasium. So instead of just explaining it, let's take a look at some photos. Here is our gymnasium. So we are Division I, 20 men's, women's athletic sports teams. This is where our Golden Griffin basketball, men's and women's basketball, women's volleyball, things like that play and practice. We also have right over here, this is kind of like our big fan student section. C Block is our club on campus that goes to all the sporting events. So I was on the e-board for C Block when I was a student. It was super fun to road trip to a lot of games and then also cheer on our teams right here in our home arena. So their motto is to be bold and wear gold. Couple other quick shots here, a fitness room. Something super exciting going on our campus right now is that we have a brand new fitness center that has gone in on the main block of campus. The big unveiling for that was supposed to be this semester, which has been put on hold for right now, but it is done. I have some photos to show you guys too. So if you don't want to head over to the athletic center to work out, you can actually work out right on the main block of campus now. And like I mentioned to you guys earlier, our home ice for hockey is right downtown at the Harbor Center facility. So this is really awesome too. Students love to go down on the weekends, grab some dinner, go see a hockey game and just hang out. It's a really cool way to feel like you're off campus, you're taking advantage of the city of Buffalo and all it has to offer, while also still being, there to cheer on your Golden Griffins. Something really fun too, just to note, in the athletic center, that is where we hold welcoming ceremony, as well as convocation, as well as commencement after your 4 years. It all takes place right here in the CAC. So here's a cool shot of our women's basketball team playing in the Kessler. So we're going to keep going, make our way down here. Right through these double doors is one of our small gymnasiums. That's the Patrick Lee facility. And then as we head out here to the right, this is one of our athletic training facilities. All of our Division I athletic team students receive in-house rehabilitation. So it's great that we have those resources for them. We actually have the state-of-the-art facility and #1 in the MAC conference. And now outside here, this is Dembski Field, just a really awesome space as well for other sports teams, soccer, lacrosse, baseball, softball, those teams are going to play out here. So I'll just take you guys around real quick to kind of get a shot. And just note that any students are welcome to use these facilities in this space. So when teams are not practicing, you can come and rent us or sign out like a soccer ball or basketball, whatever it is that you would want to, kind of play and hang with your friends. So really cool that every student gets to take advantage of these facilities. So we are going to jump on campus now. I promised I'd show you kind of where we were headed and where we've been going. I know it sounds a little confusing as I'm just talking through our walk around campus, but I want to give you guys a quick shot. So let me pull this over here. I hope everybody can see that okay. So we started in this building, Lions Hall down here. You can kind of see that little marker, and we crossed Main Street. We started to walk down Main Street. We turned onto Jefferson. We went through the Science Hall building and then headed over to our Kessler Athletic Center. So instead of walking back, we're just going to do a little jump from Dembski Field right here back to our library. So students at Canisius are a little spoiled. They like that we have underground tunnels and often refer to this block of campus here as main campus. So anything across the street, they call off campus, but really it's still part of our Canisius College campus, as you can see here. So this would be considered like off campus or the science building, but on campus, the main block of campus is right here, okay? So like I said, we're gonna head over to the library now. So let's jump to there. And we are going to go walking in up this little sidewalk path. Right across here, guys, this is Dugan Hall. This is where President Hurley's office is located, as well as our student records and financial services suites. If you wanted to ask questions about financial aid, pay your student bill, or maybe you have a work-study job on campus and want to be able to pick up your paycheck, that's where you would do so right in here. The dean's offices are also going to be located there. And then this Churchill Tower kind of behind these posts, a little hard to see, but that is one of our academic towers where many professor offices are located. Great resource for you is being a small school, all of our professors hold open office hour times. This is just an opportunity to pop up, ask some questions, see if you could go over, an exam or help study, or maybe you just didn't grasp all the material in class that day. You can go ahead and just chat with your professors at any point in time. So let's go on in and see the library. So this is our main floor of the library. What's great is that all of the furniture is movable to make it as conducive as possible to your study habits and the kind of work that needs to be done. So as I just take a little swing around here, you can see all different computer hookups. You may want to gather some chairs for kind of like a group study session, or maybe just find some individual desk space if that works better for you. We have 3 floors in our library. This main floor is pretty social. It can be a little chatty. As you can also see, we don't really have any books on this floor. This is definitely more of the hangout floor. We got some DVDs back here and stuff, but don't worry, upstairs on the quiet floor, that is absolutely silent, great individual workspaces for our students. Lots of books up there as well as down in the basement of the library. So just a couple photos for you guys to see. Oops, I want to go back. Sorry, missed this panorama. So just to see here, these are some quick print stations for our students. You guys get $15 per semester on your ID card for printing. But remember, most of your items will be submitted electronically nowadays. So students never have a problem with print money. You typically will never run out. But if you wanted to print, there are some quick print stations. One other feature in our library that I love are these group study rooms. When I was a student, these were my favorite place to do work because I felt like I could focus with just a couple of friends. You just have to sign this out on your Canisius portal page, and then you can use this room for usually like 3 to 4 hours at a time, while then still being on that main floor where it's a little bit more social. There are like TV hookups in all of these. So if you have a presentation that you're working on with a group or something, you can hook up your laptop and not have to worry about like kind of crowding around one little screen, anything like that. These are located up on the top floor and in the basement as well. We are also part of the New York Connect program, which means that if we do not have a book or a material, something that you need, a journal for a paper or project or for school, you can go right to the CERC desk and they will be able to request that from another school within New York State, or they will order it for you if it's not in the system at all. So we make sure we get students all resources that they need. And then we can't forget about Tim Hortons access. We have a Tim Hortons that's accessible both inside of the library as well as outside of the library for our students. So that's always a fan favorite as well. Let's keep heading out back to one of our academic buildings. So as we pass Tim Hortons again, just for you guys to peek, this is the outside entrance. Tim Hortons is actually our latest option on campus. I believe they're open till midnight and then 1 a.m. during finals week and the week before finals. So the library also, those 2 weeks stays open 24 hours for students. So morning, noon, and night, you can get all of your studying and schoolwork done to crunch for those final exams. As we're heading into Old Main, our main academic building and the first building that Canisius kind of built and acquired when we made our move to Main Street in 1913. This hallway here has some really cool shots and really pretty photos. These pictures were actually taken by students who were taking a free elective course in travel photography, and they go to Italy over their spring break. So if you are interested in kind of learning more about a hobby, kind of a cool class that you could take. So we are now on the first floor of Old Main, like I mentioned before. So this building is really pretty, some great old architecture. Right here, this is our financial markets lab located on the first floor of this building. All students will have classes in Old Main. So whether you're a business major, something in the sciences, education, humanities, no matter what, I promise you will have a class at some point during your 4 years in Old Main. Down in the basement is where our Griff Center is located. That is their hub office. The Griff Center is our academic success office, and they handle everything from students starting and making their first semester schedule all the way till the end of your 4 years and getting a job or an internship, after graduation. So let's just show you guys some quick pictures and photos. Again, this is our financial markets lab, super cool facility. Typically our finance students and economics students will take courses in here. We also have the Bloomberg terminals, so state-of-the-art technology for those students to be learning with. This is the Griff Center main office where you can just kind of stop in, and they are your one-stop shop for all academic success. They will typically get you where you need to go, no matter what questions that you have. The Tutoring Center is an awesome and free resource for all students that if you have questions or need help in a class, just pop up here. You can actually meet one-on-one with a tutor. And as you can see the student signing in right here, you sign in and then your professor gets an update that you were actually there and what you worked on. So it really helps to show your professors that you're going above and beyond to get that extra assistance. All right, so we are now going to head out of Old Main and into the quad. So we have the best of both worlds on campus. As I mentioned before, we're in that urban city setting, you're right on Main Street. But as soon as you cross over into our quad, you are in that very collegiate, quiet, picturesque campus, which students really like having that. Again, best of both worlds. Okay, so we are heading into the center of our quad. This is where St. Peter Canisius, which we are named after. He is a Jesuit priest, author, and educator. He is right in the center of our campus and is often dressed up for different events during the year, whether it's sunglasses for Griff Fest or a Santa hat at Christmas time, things like that. All right, oops, I'm gonna pop back. Just behind him, you can actually see is our chapel. We will end with our chapel in a few minutes. So let's keep going. This is our student center. So this is where our school dining hall is located, some different event spaces housed on the top floor here. And then down in the basement is our bookstore and lots of club rooms for students. So we are going to go right on in so you can see the dining hall. Here is our main dining hall. They are open for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, as well as brunch on the weekends. So Monday through Friday, they have breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Breakfast and dinner are all you can eat. You would just use your meal plan to swipe into the dining hall with one meal block or meal swipe. And then on the weekends, you can also have all you can eat for brunch, where during the week, Monday through Friday, we have lunch that is a la carte so that people can use that space just to come in and bring their own lunch and sit and eat if they would like to do that. So for lunch, it's one meal is a meal, a side, and a beverage is like one meal ID card swipe. But you always are welcome to use cash or card if you aren't going to be living on campus or if you do not have a meal plan. Okay. So let me just show you guys some quick shots of the dining hall here. It's pretty big, lots of different food options for our students. I'm going to show you a couple of the stations, which I know it's all you guys probably care about, right? It's what you're going to have to eat in college. Really good food. So we have kind of like a pizza pasta station here. Right here, this is actually our full vegan station. So they have all different types of like plant-based, really cool food. It's called Pitchfork, so really cool options there. Our grill, that's going to be your traditional like hamburgers, chicken fingers, sandwiches, grilled cheese, all that kind of good stuff, fries, anything along those lines. And then down here is our sub shop. So they carve all of their meats fresh and you can have any kind of sandwich or sub that you would like. We also have a soup salad bar that's going to be located here. And then on the other side, you can't really see in this photo, but on the other side where these people are, that's going to be a rotating option every day. And right through here to that little, by that little window is a ice cream station. So I know that's always a fan favorite for students is the soft served ice cream. Something really cool that we do is hold different events for dining all the time. We try to make it fun for students. So this was kind of like a jazz night that they had done. They had like a gourmet dinner. We had a full jazz ensemble band. It was really kind of cool. We also do things like midnight breakfast during finals week where students can actually come and have breakfast late at night. They make another meal for students. So if you are up late studying, a great way to get some extra food in you. It's just another quick shot of the dining hall. All right, guys, so we're going to head over to go see a dorm really quickly. So Frisch Hall, this is one of our freshman dorms. We have two freshman dorms you can see here. So this is where we are right now, kind of on this back corner of campus. And right over here, this is Bosch Hall. So they are identical. One's just on one side of the campus, one's on the other. I'm gonna let you guys just see really quickly. You know, we only have a few minutes left of our tour, so I want to make sure you get all this in. This is a suite style dorm. So students will come in here, have this common living space. You're welcome to keep like a refrigerator, a microwave, things like that in here. There's also a TV stand for students. And then there'll be a bedroom on either side of the suite, which would still have 2 people per room in that suite style option. Couple quick photos for you guys to see here. This is a common living space. So on every floor, there is a full kitchen here with an oven, microwave. We also then have kind of hangout space here if you want to make dinner on your floor. You'll have 2 resident assistants or RAs on each floor, 1 male, 1 female. The floors are co-ed based on hallway wings. And they'll do different programming. We used to do like pizza and wings on Bill's Sundays, or we did like roommate bingo, like kind of like how well you knew your roommate, some fun things like that. Another shot of a living kind of common room right in one of our suites that you can see with some of the girls hanging out. This would be a single dorm option if you were to be living by yourself. So some students will request a single, those are limited. And then a double room, which is more of the standard room. So whether you're in a single double room, like just you walk in and that's your bedroom, or if you walk into a suite style room, you'll still have a roommate. So it would be set up very similar to this. So kind of a cool shot for you there. You're welcome to bring whatever you'd like to decorate, but the furniture does have to be flame retardant. So whatever is in the room is what you're allowed to have. Okay. So we are gonna just finish up. One last stop here, our Palasano Pavilion. As I mentioned before, this is where our brand new fitness center is located. So in the basement of this building is our Esports Facility. This is a club sport on campus. They are part of the MAC conference and compete with other schools in the MAC. That's 16 members on this team. If you are interested in professional gaming, that's kind of cool to be involved in. And then on the top floor, these photos were when we were still finishing up renovations. So just pardon our dust a little bit here, but you can see some really cool shots of the new fitness center. Let me go back really quick. Right through these glass doors here, this is going to be different classes offered. So they're going to have like yoga classes, Pilates classes, Zumba, things like that for students, which is really fun. And then on the top floor of Palasano is Iggy's. That is our late night eating option on campus. So kind of just like your typical like Fridays or Applebee's, flatbread pizzas, sandwiches, burgers. You can take out or dine in, and students really like, kind of hanging out up here. It's almost like a little sports bar type of place. So fun stuff there. All right, we're just gonna click through real quick. This is Dugan Hall here, a sophomore residence. And then as you head back to the center of campus, this is our chapel right in the center. And I always like to finish after seeing the chapel with our Buffalo skyline. So there, as you guys can see here, there are some more stops on our campus tour that we kind of touched on or mentioned, but more pictures, more panos, and some videos as well, that if you are interested in learning more about the campus, you can log in, connect to this platform at any point in time. But I'm going to go ahead and just end with the Buffalo skyline. This is one of my favorite views. If you are interested in seeing this view, you can check it out on the 7th floor of Dugan Hall. It's our sophomore residence on campus. And you can actually see right here, this is how far we are from downtown. So just a very short, ride on the subway system. So thanks you guys so much. I know we're going to turn it over to Rachel at this point to learn a little bit more about Canisius and our admissions requirements and some say yes requirements. So thanks so much, guys.
Awesome. Thanks, Kayla. Hi, everybody. I'm Rachel. I'm one of the admissions counselors here at Canisius as well. And I am going to take you through a couple of presentation slides just to learn a little bit about our admissions requirements as well as some of our say yes requirements and financial aid. So this is just a nice shot of our quad, as Kayla showed us in her wonderful tour. Just another view from the top of Old Main. All right, so we're going to get into the nitty gritty. This is kind of one of the biggest questions I get asked as an admissions counselor is, what is your student profile? It's kind of hard to say that because these are all averages, but as you can see on the screen, these are some of the things we look for when we are kind of reviewing applications and receive those applications in the fall and throughout the year. So our admissions criteria and what we look for is a rigorous college curriculum. So what you're in your schools now, we look to see if you're challenging yourself. We look to see if you're taking AP classes if they're offered, or honors level curriculum if it's offered at your school as well, just to see how you do and to see, like I said, that you're challenging yourself. We look for a strong GPA and high scores in academic classes. So we look to see that a trend. So if you're on an upward trend, we look to see that you're improving every year, or if you're maintaining those high grades, that they stay nice and high throughout your time in high school. On average, we have students that apply with a 3.5 GPA on a 4.0 scale, or roughly about a 90% on a 100-point scale. SAT score is roughly about an average of 1160. Which, these are good scores to kind of shoot for. ACT score on average is a 24. So we're looking for students to, these are averages. So we have a lot of students that are well above these numbers and a lot of students that are well below them. I always tell students these are nice things to look for and nice benchmarks to try to hit as you're kind of moving forward in your college process and your academic career in high school. All right, so financial aid. This is another, big slide for us students. who apply to Canisius, 96% of those students receive some sort of financial aid, whether it's through merit-based scholarships or scholarships, grants, endowments, loans that could be offered through our institution. So when you apply to Canisius, you're automatically reviewed for merit-based scholarships. Those are based on your GPA, your SAT score, or your ACT score, whichever is the highest of the three, that it will determine the merit money that you will receive. All students will file a FAFSA, and once we receive that FAFSA information, that kind of gives us the opportunity to give you a financial aid package with a more comprehensive look of what it would cost to attend Canisius. That financial aid package could detail any additional federal, state, or institutional aid that you would be eligible for based off of need from what that FAFSA reflects. There are some specialized scholarship opportunities on campus. So this is where I'm going to talk about our Say Yes application. We are so excited to be able to partner with Say Yes Buffalo. We currently have 15 spots available for students. And something different that Canisius does is we do have a short application on our scholarship website and our financial aid website that we do encourage students to fill out if they're interested in our Say Yes scholarship. That gives us a little bit of an opportunity to kind of get to know you a little bit better. We do require students to write a short answer on who they are, what they're passionate about, and why they possibly would want to attend Canisius, as well as, excuse me, we also have an HEOP program. We have our urban leadership learning community as well that has about 11 spots in scholarships. And then we do also have some specialized scholarships in our Dr. Martin Luther King Scholarship, ROTC, and things like that as well. The net price calculator is also available on our financial aid website, and that will kind of give you a nice overarching idea of what Canisius might cost for you. Going back to our Say Yes scholarship, I do want to mention that if you are awarded that Say Yes scholarship, it is full tuition and fees to attend Canisius, combined with your financial aid package. So it is a really nice scholarship, and it is a great way to kind of honor our partnership with the city of Buffalo and Buffalo Public Schools. All right, so this is another important slide. This might be a good one to screenshot for our juniors who are on here attending this call, as this is the application process and what you'll be doing in the fall. So there's two different ways to apply to Canisius. We have our own Canisius application, which you can find on our website, as well as we are on the Common Application. So both are free to apply. We see students fill out both applications. The Common Application is nice if you're applying to a bunch of different schools. If they're all on the Common Application, you fill it out one time and it kind of goes everywhere. We also require your official high school transcript, your SAT or ACT scores, your college essay, which is my personal favorite part of the application. It's the part where I encourage students, so I encourage you in the summer to do a couple of drafts, but I encourage students to write something that they're passionate about, something that we can't necessarily glean from your application, and something that, you know, would keep us wanting to read your application and keep us wanting more of you. We also do require 2 letters of recommendation. These can be from teachers, guidance counselors, organizations that you work with, those leaders, coaches, if you have a part-time job, your manager. Those are different things that we require when we look at you and review your application. I do also want to touch upon the early action deadline. For us, early action is November 1. If you apply early action to Canisius, it's a non-binding opportunity, but it does move your timeline up. So if you apply by that November 1st deadline, you're guaranteed an admissions decision by the beginning of December. So it's really nice kind of going into the holidays to know whether you've been accepted or not. And like I said, it just moves the process up and the timeline up for you, especially with finance aid. And then just a thank you for coming. Thank you for attending our virtual college spotlight of Canisius. And Kayla and I are happy to answer any questions that you may have. And we're looking forward to getting to know you guys a little bit more.
Thank you so much, ladies. Thank you so much, ladies. That was a wonderful tour. Great information. We do have a bunch of questions from our audience, so I'm going to go ahead and ask those
Of
right
course.
now. Being that Canisius is located on the east side of Buffalo, how has your institution connected with the community in the past, and how are you planning on to connect moving forward?
Kayla, do you want to?
Yeah, absolutely. So I mean, there's lots of different things. We are right in that neighborhood on the east side of Buffalo. A lot of our students live in some of those homes around campus. As a junior or a senior, you have that option to live around campus. I know that Canisius has in the past purchased different properties to help renovate and bring in different families or student housing options to help kind of keep those neighborhoods alive. We also partner a lot with different schools. We have a really awesome education program, at Canisius. Right on the corner of Delavan and Main Street, there is an elementary school located there. I'm going to blank on which public school number it is. I apologize. You guys might know better.
54.
And which one?
54.
54. Okay. I'm sorry. I should know that. We have a lot of students that work in that school, whether it is part of a service learning opportunity where they get to do some kind of community service outreach, or if they're an education major and potentially doing one of their first placements in that school. So some pretty cool things going on there. We also participate a lot just in general in the city of Buffalo with service. So being a Jesuit institution, our big focus is giving back to our community, whether it is locally, across the US or even sometimes internationally on different international trips that we have. But a large scale event that we hold once a semester is called Community Day, where we send students out to various sites throughout the city of Buffalo to do some, whatever it may be, whether it's cleanup work or helping to build homes with Habitat for Humanity, anything like that. Some really cool places. I know when I was a student, we would go to sometimes different churches to clean. Sometimes we would go to different parks in the city of Buffalo to do some outdoor cleanup, different things like that. So cool ways to give back to our city of Buffalo.
That's great. And we appreciate that from Buffalo Public Schools, and say, yes, it's great that you're getting your students involved. What are your job placement like for graduates?
I think that's a great question. A lot of our programs do really have high job placement or high graduate school placement. So we do see overarching placements. 86% of our students do decide to go to medical school, get into the school that they're looking for, and go on to pursue medical school. 87% for pre-law. It really just also depends on the program and what students are specifically interested in, whether it's going to the job course right after Canisius or going into grad school. Those numbers do kind of vary.
Excellent, thank you. And our audience loved your facility so much, they're asking, do you ever rent any of those spots, buildings, locations, gyms, things like that?
Like in what sense? Just renting them out for like the public to use?
Yes, if they want to host a party or something like that.
Yeah, kind of. You would actually partner with event services. I don't know if it's necessarily for like a party, but sometimes if people are looking to utilize our space, they can rent that out. I know Connie Polari in event services is the one who typically handles that kind of stuff.
Great. I think that's exactly along the lines of what they were looking for.
Yeah.
And what about your single dorm room? How would one go about looking to apply for one, or how soon in advance? What is the process like for applying for a single dorm?
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
I
can. So it doesn't matter. Either one of us can take
either one.
We have a housing application. So once you're committed to Canisius and you either submit your deposit and say, okay, yes, I'm coming to Canisius for this coming fall and I will be living on campus, you then go ahead and apply for housing. So there's a couple different options. It's going to be either the single, the double, or that suite that I mentioned on the campus tour. They are first come, first serve based on your deposit date. So that's kind of like as students fill out those housing application, whatever is like left that you want to choose from is what you can pick, I guess. But there is a difference in price. So that's something to kind of note as well. The price that you are quoted for when we go through your financial aid package and looking at the total cost for Canisius is a standard double room. So that's going to be 2 people in one single room. Then it goes up a little bit for a suite. And then the most expensive option would be that single if you wanted to live alone.
Okay, great. Thank you. And
Yeah.
speaking of deposits and applications, can you talk about the fees that are associated with application, the application and a deposit? And are those applicable for this fall as well, having COVID-19 happening and unfortunately?
Sure, that's a great question, especially with the COVID-19 and all of everything that's going on in the world. So it is free to apply to Canisius, whether you do it through the Canisius application, which is on our website, or through the common application. There's no fee waiver or anything required. It's just free to apply. As far as deposits, in the last 2 years, Kayla, you can jump in if I'm wrong, but at least in the last 2 years since I've been working at Canisius, if you do decide that you are interested in depositing and committing to Canisius, it's $200 if you are going to be a commuter to secure your spot at the school, and $400 if you're going to be a resident student. Obviously $200 for the school and then $200 for your housing spot. I foresee those to be similar going into the fall, but at this point in time, it's kind of more of an I don't know type of answer until we have a little bit more kind of understanding of what the financial ramifications of COVID will.
Thank you. Thank you. And just to reiterate, ACT and SAT are required to get into Canisius.
Yep. So we do require an ACT or an SAT score as of right now.
Okay. What about FAFSA Help? Is there anyone on campus that can help students that are applying for FAFSA? We know it's a bear of an application. Any help with that from your campus?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you're always welcome to call a financial aid counselor. They typically will work with families and students one-on-one to go over, if you have questions on how to file, if I did it correctly, if it was submitted, if there's anything missing, they can work through a lot of those questions with you. So they're pretty easy to access.
Okay, great. And being that you are a private college, and just to let our audience know again, Canisius does have 15 scholarships available to our Buffalo Public School scholars graduating that are eligible for the Say Yes scholarship. So we appreciate that from our private partner college. But what makes you different from a public? So thinking about students debating on, should I go to a public, a SUNY school, or a private college?
That is a great question. So I think for me, one of my biggest things is for a private school is really our Jesuit education. It really does set us apart. Being a Jesuit school, academic excellence is kind of part of our tradition. So just having that kind of smaller classrooms, professors who are committed to education, who know what they're taught, know what they're doing, have had those real world experiences and can bring them into the classroom. I think that kind of sets us apart in the private sector. Kayla, do you have kind of something as a student from Canisius?
Yeah, no, I think that's great. I think one thing at a private school too is like you mentioned, just that individualized experience, being a smaller classroom setting. And I just really liked feeling like I was kind of like part of one big family, I guess. As I walk the halls, a lot of people. It's a lot of like, hey, how's it going? What's up? And even when you're out and about in the city of Buffalo, I would be out to dinner, or I'm at a concert or something, and everyone that goes to Canisius a lot of times knows each other, and you're like, oh my gosh, hi, you go to Canisius. And I always really appreciated feeling that sense of community. So it was really cool.
Thank you. So what do you have in terms of, you did mention smaller class sizes. If I'm a student coming in and I have an IEP or I have special accommodations, what kind of services do you have on campus for me?
Yeah, so as I mentioned on the campus tour, that academic success office, the Griff Center. So we play on the term Griff quite often on our campus, being the Golden Griffins is our mascot. And in the Griff Center, we have accessibility support services. So that is located on the 3rd floor of Old Main, that office, kind of where the Tutoring Center is, our study center, our veteran services office. They're all in like one of the wings up there. Sierra Bonner is the advisor, the main contact of that program. She's amazing, and she'll meet individually with students. Things can range from needing extended time for your exams. Maybe you need an individual testing location, or you just need, if you have that extended time, you just need to be taking your exams up in our testing facility. Perhaps you need a note taker or somebody to be reading the exam to you, whatever it is that, basically you are receiving in high school. Typically she needs to do kind of like a reevaluation or like an update evaluation, but we try to maintain as many of those services as possible into college to make sure that the student can be successful on our campus.
That's wonderful. Thank you for sharing that. I know some of our reviewers are probably wondering about that. So I just wanted to make sure we touch on that. And lastly, I would like to hear from each of you on what advice you would give for a high school senior right now, looking to transition into college this fall semester, being with everything that's happening right now. What would you say?
That's the $1 million question right now. I think that I would just say, for any senior at any point in time, this is a new chapter. It's an exciting chapter. You want to start by being organized. You want to make sure that you kind of get off on the right foot, make sure that you make yourself, known on campus, that you can get involved, meet your professors regularly, go to those office hours, try to put yourself out there by joining clubs and organizations, go to as many events as possible once you're on campus in the fall. We are planning to be open to be on campus this fall, so I believe all students will be able to do those things. If not, we will take the change as it comes.
Okay, thank you.
I think piggybacking off of what Kayla said, just kind of taking each day as it comes is really something that is going to have to resonate with seniors this year. And I think it speaks to the juniors who are coming up as well. This is going to be a different type of college search and college application than possibly we're used to. So really just being organized and looking for that place that does feel right for you. That's something I do tell students all the time, regardless of COVID and what's going on. You have to be at an institution where you feel that you're going to be successful, and utilize all of the resources that we have to offer, that other schools have to offer. Take these virtual tours, go to webinars that they have available as you're going through the summer, and really kind of narrowing down your college search.
Okay, great, thank you. So I really appreciate both of you being here with us today. So if I am interested in applying for Canisius, I can go fill out a free application on your website right now, correct? Okay, that's great. Your campus is beautiful. We appreciate all of the knowledge that you brought to this tour today. I'm happy that you were able to join us. And we hope that you hear from some of our scholars in the future.
We certainly hope so. Thanks so much for having us.
No problem.
Yeah, this was great. Thanks so much. Please use us as a resource. Rachel and myself, we're always happy to chat with students.
Yeah, thank you so much, and have a great evening, ladies.
Thank you.
Bye, guys.
Bye. We will be back at 5 o'clock hearing from Johanna with Say Yes Buffalo with our internship and career pathways program. We have an exciting new announcement for them, so we hope that you can tune back in at 5 o'clock with our Say Yes Buffalo internship and career pathways program, that they are going to announce a big, huge announcement. So hope to see you soon. Thank you.